Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Starfield Raw. This is episode number 51. We are one episode away from our big one-year anniversary. I am Joe the Wigit. I am joined by my fellow co-hosts, the men who actually make this show happen, starting with Romeo Rook.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm excited about our one-year anniversary, but that's next week. So I have to deal with this week first.
Hey now. We still got a good show. And we're joined, as always, by Kilo Tango Foxtrot.
Kilo Tango Foxtrot. That's a new one. Yeah, what's up, guys? Ready to go. I actually got a lot of stuff to talk about this week in my playthrough. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I had some time, and I found some things very interesting. A couple of rants that are just my own personal things. And we are going to talk about our anniversary show next week. And a lot of what we're going to do was based on your guys' suggestions in Discord. We're really excited about that. We're figuring out the details, how we're going to put it all together. You know what? You guys want to just talk about that now?
Sure. We can talk about that now. Or do we make them wait till the end of the episode?
We could do that.
Because then they have to listen to us talk about everything else in order to get to it.
I like that idea better.
Okay, that's set in stone.
There we go.
Well, the first thing I do want to bring up is I want to address this, because this is another thing that's causing a lot of rumors and speculation, which we love the speculation, by the way, is the fact that someone was data mining Bethesda like usual and saw that they had put in a bunch of trademarks. And one of them was the name Starborn.
Right. Yeah.
Now, the first thing that went through most people's minds was, oh, is that going to be the name of the next expansion? Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a strong possibility. But just to put, before we start getting to our speculation really quick, I want to everyone to keep in mind that game studios, they do a lot of trademarks, like through the entire process of an IP, a video game. And most of them are just to protect the names and ideas within the game. And Starborn is a name that's not just unique to Starfield. No Man's Sky also has some Starborn stuff in it. And it could very well be a way for Bethesda to protect that name.
That's honestly what I think is the most probable.
Yeah, but there's enough creative stuff out there outside of Bethesda and No Man's Sky that use the term Starborn in reference to.
Yeah, well, that was just using that as a key reference that most people would know.
Right.
You're right. It is not exactly an uncommon name.
Yeah. So it really just makes me wonder, and that's what's leading me to my thoughts about it, is because since it is a broad term, and reading through everything that was laid out inside the filing made me wonder. Now, it could be very well they did it because No Man's Sky released their update with the Starborn.
Yeah. I don't know if they would release an expansion called Starborn. I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, I mean, we got to see where Shattered Space goes first, because Starborn, I mean, what did they say? It could be something, possibly. It could be something, a story that focuses specifically more on the Starborn and their origins and where Unity comes from and everything like that. Yes, that's an absolute possibility. But people are definitely running with it a little more than they probably should at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like I said, I was one of those people that said it could be because of this based on all of the filings. But then somebody pointed out that No Man's Sky has a Starborn rover and a Starborn character.
Mm-hmm.
So it could very well be that's why they're doing it. But then again, you have to look at how No Man's Sky is creating their version of the Starborn versus how it's done so far as we know it in Shattered Space. Not Shattered. Man, that got me confused.
Starfield.
And Starfield.
Because the game that we do the show about?
Yeah. You know, the one we're doing right now. But no, it could be very well one of those where the way they're depicting the characters are completely different. So it leaves a lot for speculation, and I hate when people are just trying to get clicks on articles, because then you get conversations like this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, doesn't it also have to do with like how the Starborn is depicted? Because, you know, the Dragonborn species in D&D, as is presented as Dragonborn, is property of Hasbro, but like there's Dragonborn in Skyrim, but it's a completely different thing. So it's not necessarily a trademark on the name as much as is the idea, right?
Well, the problem with that is No Man's Sky is depicted as a game where you're in a suit all the time, just like Starfield
In space,
in
exploring
space.
planets.
So if you make a Starborn character that is in a full suit, it fits the theme of your game, but then it can violate anything that Bethesda does in their games. So they really have to
Yeah, but
define
we're talking
that
about
better.
right, but we're talking about two different kinds of Starborn. We're talking about these mythological entities that you encounter in the video game versus you're Starborn because you're wearing a spacesuit and you're exploring planets. And I think that's maybe where the difference is. I don't know if Bethesda's trying to get a hold of something or kind of get a handle on this. Like they
Oftentimes,
didn't.
they will trademark names and concepts just in case they want to use it, so they're protected if they do decide to
Right.
use that concept or name in the future.
Got you. All
And
right. Well,
that's
anyways, I just
yeah.
thought
But
that was worth bringing up because the
that brings
rumor
up
mill
another
does
idea though.
run. What's that?
Another thing I was thinking about today, because one of our listeners was talking about No Man's Sky earlier, and I looked up all the updates of it and said, "Oh, that's really really cool." Me and Rook used to play it years ago, and we got really into it. So I downloaded it and started playing it a little bit today, briefly. And they are both space games. They both have suits and ships, but they are vastly different in terms of playability, like vastly different.
Right.
And I still prefer Starfield way more. It's more alive and stuff like that. But I noticed that
Yeah,
there's
sure.
kind of this back and forth going between these two games. Some of the updates that have been
There's a
going into
lot of
Starfield
comparison.
has been
Yeah.
stuff that's already in No Man's Sky, and vice versa. No Man's Sky, looks like their recent updates have been trying to push more Starfield style gameplay.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
They've been trying to make their planets more alive with flora, fauna, actual water stuff. It's like a direct jab at Bethesda.
Oh, I
Well, their
see.
planets were already more alive than a lot of Bethesda's planets.
Well, yeah, because they don't go by actual science. Like almost every planet you can go to in that game is full of flora and fauna. That's not realistic, but it's cool.
All right, so it looks like before Starfield came out, they were already releasing Starbirth stuff in No Man's Sky, so using a void egg and all that good stuff. So it looks like maybe Bethesda's reaction is to try protecting their property versus the Starborn stuff in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be the case. Yeah.
But I do want to get it back into that game because I want to see what the Starbirth stuff is all about.
Yeah, I saw a new character today, and I realized, yeah, I forgot how much of a grind the beginning of the game is, but they've added a lot to it, and the planets did look a lot more alive now. And I almost died just trying to get a part. It was not good.
I haven't played that one in a hot minute. I did enjoy it for a little bit. I did play.
And the improvements they've been making on it's been really, really cool. So we'll see. I'm not going to stop playing Starfield by any shape or the form. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Obviously, we do this show about it, so there is something to it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not as invested in Starfield right now. And that's only because I'm playing on my laptop, and my laptop does not want to run it at peak efficiency.
That's kind of understandable.
I'm still working on getting a desktop, and after playing, I put No Man's Sky in and put it on its new ultra settings, and my laptop was like, I can't do this. I was like, okay, it's time for desktop.
Yeah, my desktop loves running it on ultra settings. And it's still running a 2070 Super graphics card, so
I might be picking up a desktop here in the very near future. We'll see.
There you go. There you go.
See, my problem is I have this nice desktop. I don't have a home in Texas to play it on yet. Or to set it up.
Grab it from your storage and put it in your hotel for the meantime.
Well, the problem is I've got a lot of bigger issues I got to deal with before I can even remotely think about setting up my desktop.
That takes 2 minutes.
I got to make sure I have a house to live in when I get to Texas.
That doesn't take up all your time.
Yeah, it does right now.
Anyway, let's talk about our gameplay, guys.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, Rook explored.
Rook explored.
See, now I can put that in the description. Thank you.
Yeah, I finished exploring. I finished exploring the Kamasi system. Kamasi 1, 2, and 3 are some of my favorite places to visit so far. They have a lot of fauna and flora, and each, I think it was 3 and 2, had the most, with 1 being marginal. I think that's what it was, or it was 1 and 2 flipped. But 3 had an abundant flora and an abundant fauna, so I was running around that planet for a little bit trying to find everything.
I remember those planets. I remember there is one of them on that system that is really, really cool. And you can, it's like perfect for your like luxury base building.
Oh,
I have not been there yet. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool system. Every planet I went to, I ended up having to fight some either Spacers or Crimson Fleet.
Naturally.
Yeah, but unusually, it's an unusual amount that I had to fight, because usually when I go to a system and I go to a planet, I go to the planet and I may run into Crimson Fleet or Spacers at, say, every other or every one of 3 planets. No, this was every planet I went to. I ended up fighting Spacers or Crimson Fleet. Or I got jumped by the Varun, and I'm not sure why the Varun are jumping me as much. Because now I jump into the system, and I will have a Varun ship come out of hyperdrive and start attacking me.
They're trying to get you to worship the snake. The snake wants you.
Yeah,
I've been hearing that a lot. I've been hearing that from a lot of people, that people are having a lot more Varun encounters.
I'm wondering if they're just ramping up that in the background because of Shadow Space.
Yeah.
That's what I think they're doing, is you're bringing it. Otherwise, if you just said, hey, they just came out and started doing this stuff, it'd make no sense. But if you lead into it with the enemy jumping in and starting to attack you, then it makes sense. That's how they're going to build up.
This actually leads me to something, Rook. Thank you for reminding me. I'm wondering, and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure it's going to happen, that on the next big update, they're going to release some story content that's going to be the precursor to Shadow Space.
Oh, okay.
I see this happen a lot with expansions lately.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of times you release an expansion, and it's like, how does this fit? It's
like a wall. You just jump through the wall, and it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, but if you do it where you got some sort of story leading up to the expansion, that makes sense.
Right.
But Bethesda has more than the capability to start building it up slowly and then go right into it. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. Because I've noticed a lot more Varun encounters too. Like, I've actually gone through 2 or 3 bases that were Varun, and I rarely ever see them.
Right.
Yeah, they were very rare. Now I see them running on planets all the time. I jump into systems, and they're either in the middle of a fight, or they show up and start attacking me, or I will go to a planetary base and see Varun.
Now, are they just Varun, or are they Varun Zealots? Because the one guy who brought it to my attention was saying that it was not Varun Zealots. It just said Varun.
It just says Varun on the ships that attack me.
Yep.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. I noticed that after I was watching chat and they brought that up. I was like, I wonder. And then I saw the last one that attacked me. It just said Varun and the name of the ship, not Varun Zealot.
See, I love the Varun. I like their weaponry they use. I don't really care about their, craziness, but their culture that I get from like Andrasia, it fascinates me. I'm really excited to learn more about it and see their home world and their home city that's been teased about.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Super excited about that.
Hopefully we get some information. Hopefully Bethesda's listening to us and actually gives us some information they wouldn't mind us sharing.
I was reading an article that said that the Shadow Space expansion is supposed to be roughly the size, whatever that means, is Todd Howard saying it's roughly the size of Far Harbor.
Which is big.
Which is pretty good size, yeah.
It makes me think they're going to bring in a new system, not just a new planet.
Let's see, Fallout 4's Far Harbor DLC is just over half the size of Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Which, that Fallout 3 was 5.89 gigabytes, so you're looking at 3 or 4.
That was the last expansion, I'm using that term here in quotes here, expansion that Bethesda actually called it expansion was the Far Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Until now.
Right. Yep.
And I can't wait for the new weaponry. And it's not going to just be the whole Varun storyline. People get pigeonholed into that idea. There's going to be adding so much more to the game with these expansions.
Yeah,
we're going to get probably new skills. We're definitely getting a lot new weaponry. Probably going to get some new
systems. Give me my car
too. Well, that's coming before.
I wonder if it's going to be more the size of Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4's Far Harbor, because that sounds like it's going to be more than just 3 gigs, especially if they're adding a new system.
Yeah. It's going to be a big one, and I know it will be, and then we're going to get a lot of goodies. And I know that the next big expansion or the next big update is going to include vehicles, because I think they're going to be putting that in the game to support the expansion. That's going to have something to do with those, like maybe a new vehicle type or some new system for it. So
I want to ride a snake like in Dunes riding the worms.
I love those movies. That'd be so BA. Anyway, Rook, we just kind of sidetracked completely off your play.
Actually, no. A lot of it had to do with my play because I brought it up that I kept getting attacked by a Vroom.
There you go.
Been messing around with the shipbuilder, but because my laptop is making it difficult, I gave up. I was trying to build that Star Trek ship, and I was like, I'm done. It's freezing every time I add a new module. I'm done.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It is. It is a big bummer. But I can deal with it when I'm playing because all I got to do is a couple of movements and wait a couple of seconds, and then the game will catch up. But with the shipbuilder, it takes a little bit longer. And lately, Barrett's been a pain in my ass. He has been engaging everything that looks at me wrong.
He's in love with you. That's the Romeo.
That's your boy, man.
That's Romeo Rook right there.
That's a real homie.
Yeah, but I end up having to go kill everything that's trying to kill him because he will start shooting one enemy out of a group and they all come after him. Now, it makes my exploration, sir.
Yeah, that would hinder it. See, I like combat though. We're the complete opposite in our playstyles. I'm all about the combat, and I rarely do any exploration, so we complement.
So, speaking of exploration, I have found the biggest fault I can find with the ground map.
What's that?
It only shows you up to a couple thousand meters from your ship. So
what's wrong with that?
I wanted to show the entire landing area because, and I have experimented with this some, when you run away from your ship and you go, say, about 2,000 meters from your ship, the map actually moves, and your ship's closer to one of the edges of the border. What I'm thinking the maximum size of the map is your ship at one border and you at the other border, and then that same length in all directions from your ship. I wish they'd just give me a map that shows the entire landing area that I can actually explore.
Oh, so you can actually scroll and see everything?
Yeah, so I can see if there's any features I might want to go check out, like water or stuff like that.
Maybe they'll give us some kind of like improved scanner module for a ship or whatever that you can upgrade down the road.
Yeah, I hope so. Because like I said, I love exploring. I find myself using the ground map a lot just to see if there's a generic overall feature that looks cool that I want to go check out, and then I'll go over there and check it out.
Yeah.
And then I'll look back.
This game really lends itself very, very well to the concept of exploring. So I know that they've been trying to put more towards that, and it's been showing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I did finally, for the first time since like month 2, came across the second style of ship crash.
Ah.
Yeah,
what?
Where it looks like a ship actually crashed into a cliff face, and then there's a cave off to the side where you can sometimes find not find survivors, but find the bodies of the people who survived the crash.
The remains.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I posted it in our pictures, in the exploration photos.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, it's in my... Let's see, I'm scrolling up real quick.
You post so many, and man, it's just so hard to keep
There's
up.
so many pictures that go through the Discord, man.
I know. But that's why the exploration photo album was created. Oh,
Fair enough.
I didn't load it. Here, I'll load it real quick.
Yeah, see? It wasn't just us.
I could have sworn I posted this. All right, now it's in our exploration photo.
Hey, I see it. Holy cow!
Yeah, it looks like a really crashed ship. And then behind me on that picture is the cave where the bodies of the survivors and their little makeshift camp was.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
It's been a while. I said, I've run into that like once.
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen that. What's the planet with all the dead mechs where you have to go to get the batteries?
I was just
the one
on
where you
that
get
one.
Kaiser.
Marion.
Yeah, there it is. It kind of reminds me of a couple of the ships on that, but it definitely looks more. I don't know. That's kind of. I don't think I've seen something exactly like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome because I was mentioning how I've seen it one other time a couple of weeks ago, and then I came across it, And it actually looks like a ship that was struggling to land safely and crashed, and not like that same crash ship site all the time that creates this big trench.
That was a little bit too
Right.
close for me to having to edit. Nothing.
Wait, which one of us?
No, Rook. He trying to get ship
Oh,
out.
Oh, yeah. Ship.
All right.
Right.
What else you got, buddy?
So yeah, the biggest thing I was discussing was the map. That didn't show up on the map, but a couple of the areas, like the lakes where I took a picture standing on a rock in the middle of the lakes, I saw that on the ground maps. I saw a couple of cliffs I wanted to go check out and craters I want to go check out on the map. So I really hope they actually make it where I can see that whole map.
yeah, yeah.
But otherwise, that's been my week.
All righty.
Nice.
Kilo.
Hello, that's me. Yeah. So, okay, first of all, I want to say something here. I got a couple of people who are in my Facebook group, Starfield Shipyards, no mods, no salt. Shout out to Dean and Logan because both of them made the final 8 for the Bethesda shipbuilding contest, and neither of them used mods to do it.
Ah, big congrats. That's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
And the one guy, last I checked, was actually in the lead for votes on the Bethesda Discord or the Constellation Discord.
Nice. That,
Yeah,
my
so
friend, is
that was
badass.
pretty cool. I was very proud. So if you see the little orange ship that looks like a flying flame, or you see the giant bomb pop, yeah, that's those guys. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
pretty cool. So I finally finished the Legacy Rose, my big ship build. It
3 weeks
finally
in the
just
making.
came together. Dude, you ain't kidding. Like, I was so excited to get done with it because then I got to do other things. If you want to see Legacy Road, it is in the Discord. I used Aventech, Daratech, Matilijas, whatever. I don't know, whatever. The other one. A whole a few different things. I pretty much have one of every kind of hab in there. I didn't put a brig in there because I used a Teo Armory, and then I used Demos Living Quarters, and everything else is Nova Galactic. But it turned out really good. I'm very happy with it. So, being satisfied, I actually got to play the game. Like, play the game. Did you know that there's not just a shipbuilder in Starfield? There's like a
Yeah.
game with a story. It's amazing.
Hey, quick question. Hate to interrupt. What are the name of the
Yeah.
ships again?
The name of the ship?
Yeah, the 2 ships.
For the winner or the in the topic.
Oh, I don't know what the one looks like an orange, basically an orange flame, super glitched.
Oh, yeah,
Looks
he is
really.
definitely leading with 325 votes.
Yep, yep.
And does
That
the
and
other one
then
look like a popsicle?
the other one looks like a bomb pop. Yeah, like a popsicle. Yep, that's the other
Okay,
guy.
cool.
And no mods. The other ones use mods, you can tell. But yeah, I was so proud as being the admin of this group to see these guys go off and make these ships that got picked for the final 8 for Bethesda with no mods is really dope. I love that. So
Talk
let's
about
see.
the fact
Oh,
that you actually played the game.
I did. I did. I ran around doing crew members because the Legacy Rose after everything I did because I mod my stuff, to high heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And I got I think it's 16. I have a crew complement of 16 for the Legacy Rose. I'm like, well, time to fill all of them slots. So I started going around and collecting
So what you're telling me is you didn't actually play
crew
the
members.
game. You're still working on your ship.
I'm getting to it. You gotta give me a minute. So I started going around collecting crew members. I got Ezekiel. That's my boy Matt Mercer. I picked up Betty, and I picked up what's the word name, Mariska or whatever. I ended up getting, I think I have 14 crew members now. It might be 13, 14. I'm trying to get right now. I'm trying to get Amelia. But I did notice something as I was running around my ship. I'm like, where's dog meat? I could not find him anywhere. I don't, I
He
did not know
became
where I lost him.
dog meat became alien meat. Well, he's a robot, so that would be very difficult to do.
That wouldn't work very well. I'm not sure aliens would find him very tasty. But it was a weird thing with the mod, I think, because what I ended up doing was going back and making the falling the fallen sun. I made the fallen sun my home ship again, and then I went on board, and then he was in one of the crew quarters, and then
I
I
was
had to
hoping. I was hoping you
yeah.
found a wonderful little planet that eats metal.
No, he was, he was just there, and I had to get him to follow me again for some reason. And then I switched back to the legacy rows. So I did find him. I did do a few different. Oh, I got the quest we were talking about. Was it last week or the week before? We're talking about the list people and their grav drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for the first time, because I run into them a couple times, but this is the first time I actually just did the like, hey, let me know what's wrong with your grav drive. Oh, it's something going on with your electrical. And it didn't cost me anything, so that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's really simple, and it's a more satisfying end to helping them than just giving them the iron they need.
I think it is. It feels more, yeah. It is definitely more satisfying because, like, yeah, you help them fix their engine or whatever, and versus just like, oh, okay, here's some copper and whatever. I didn't put this in the notes, but I also did run into something with the what is it? I'm blanking. The Mandalorian ish armor, the Starborn Mandalorian or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was really weird because I was running around Aquila is what reminded me of it because my next talking point is Aquila City. I was running around Aquila and I was like in this place where it's like half shadow and half light. And remember how I told you I was getting those stripes across my character's face?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of similar to that, but it was across the entire suit.
Hmm.
And it was just like a slight discoloration where it doesn't look quite right. So I think I might just have to get rid of that mod altogether. I think it's causing too many problems for me.
Yeah, it sounds like it because that don't sound right.
No, no, it's definitely not. It doesn't look cool either. Like I can't take a good screenshot like that. So, and I still have the Gravis to fall back on, so I can just use that armor. But speaking of Killa City, I ran into a couple of kids that were running around the town,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a prompt to talk to them. And one of them is Annie Wilcox, which is the daughter of the Ranger Emma Wilcox, who's in the Rock. Welcome to the Rock. It's these two kids, and they what do they call themselves? They call them the Ranger Surveillance Assistant. And
Mm-hmm.
then her little friend was like the Assistant Ranger Surveillance Assistant. It was cute. This is a couple kids, right? And they're like convinced, like, hey, there's like some weird dude that's like sneaking around Laredo Arms, the shop, and thinking that basically the dude's a burglar. Like, no one's listening to these kids because, of course. And it just kind of reminded me of like one of those old, like, kind of campy kid movies,
Oh yeah.
like, where it's like, it's like, what are these little kids doing? And
I,
go ahead. I was gonna let you go.
oh, I was just gonna say I did find that quest very fun and
I
cute.
did too. I did not. I think it's the first time I come across it, and it's pretty straightforward. Like it really doesn't get any, you know, more straightforward. And you find, you have to go to the place at midnight, and then you find the thief who's sneaking around, and as soon as you find him, security runs up because I guess they don't want you, shoot a bad guy in front of children or something. I don't know.
I'll take all the fun out of it.
So that's right. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't even get to shoot the guy. I didn't get to get all the guns he stole, but yeah. So that was actually a cool little one I haven't done before. And then because I'm getting Amelia, I had to go back and start the Crucible quest line again. The one, oh my god, I saw it earlier and I had the pronunciation right, and I forgot to put it in my notes. The name of the planet. Oh no, it's the one
You
that
went through
Rook was
all that.
struggling with last week. Yes,
Wait,
it's
it's
like
what about last week?
Charbidus or whatever it is. It was a couple weeks ago. The place
Oh,
with all the clones.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I'm trying to remember the name
We were
of it
struggling
now.
before, and I had it. But anyways, I played through that one, and I sided with Franklin Roosevelt. I almost sided with the Queen, but I kept going around, like went around a couple times, and like had each one explain to me what their faction did or what they believed or whatever. And I almost sided with the Queen, but I'm like, it's just not. It's like I gotta go with Roosevelt again. Although I did protect H.H. Holmes's identity, but that was pretty much it. That was my week.
Which Roosevelt is it?
Franklin Delano.
Ah, I
Franklin
like Teddy
Delano.
Roosevelt
Sorry.
better. But he has the best state. He had the best quote: "Walk softly and carry a big stick." That, and I served on the USS Roosevelt, the USS Theodore Roosevelt, which was
I
called
like
the Big Stick.
It's Robin Williams' fault. I like Roosevelt because of the Night at the Museum.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
That's
it's
what I got.
Charybdis,
Yeah.
sir.
It's what?
It's either Charybdis or Charybdis.
Charybdis, I think. I don't know.
Oh, sorry,
I'll go with that.
Charybdis. It's not
Charybdis.
cha, it's ka.
Okay, well, fancy talk.
Well, no, because it's based off of a mythological creature.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
I wasn't either until I just looked it up. It's based off a sea monster in Greek mythology named the Charybdis.
It sounds like a very Greek mythology name.
I know, right?
Joe, what do you got? What'd you do this week?
Still on the UC quest line. And the game needs some quest markers fixed because there's one point where I had to go back to the Red Devils headquarters on Sidonia, and it took me all the way around the stupid underground mine, wasting 10 minutes of my time just to get into a place that I already have access to the elevator. I just couldn't find it outside the entrance to it.
Why doesn't it just take you? I had the same thing. Why doesn't it just take you to the small landing pad right there at the back?
Yeah, so you don't have to run 15 miles to it and then go through a cave and for no reason. I already cleared out the cave.
Right.
So
and I have access to the elevator.
The first time I did it, I just ran directly to the landing pad and it updated to the elevator.
Yeah, it didn't for me. It was stuck on going through that mine. And I could not find that elevator. So I went around the long way.
Oh, gee.
And I was in a heated combat and with 3 spacers in orbit right after that. And Andrea and Sarah decided to go have a little friendly conversation as I'm being bombarded by 3 different ships trying to keep us alive. Yeah, how was your day? Oh, dear Lord.
You want to know why? They're so used to the combat that they're just sitting
It doesn't even phase them anymore.
They're just sitting here targeting and upgrading their systems without even caring. They're just
like, this is just a Tuesday.
Just a Tuesday.
Exactly. No big deal. You've got this taken care of. We got no sweat. Oh boy! And then I did start doing the quest to get Kaiser. We have to go to that planet we were just talking about a minute ago. And when you find him, you have to go. He wants a new battery after you clear off the heat leeches off of him. You get the battery. I just wound up buying it because I didn't want to go through and salvage everything because I was getting tired at that point. So I bought the battery, went back to him, and he runs around the corner right after that to go kill Unit 99, right? Mm-hmm. And we get 3 of those sirens on that planet, and I'm still in extreme difficulty, and they're all level 96 plus, and they're taking full magazines of my Beowulf. My legendary Beowulf that has 1-inch punch on it, they're taking full magazines to take down.
Oh.
But I have crippling maxed out, so they never get up. When I start emptying into them, they just keep falling down.
Nice.
I didn't see the 4th. I didn't see the 4th siren. And I was dead before I realized that I was getting hit.
Oh, wow.
The 4th siren was stalking you while you were... The others were just bait. That's all they were.
Rook was on voice chat when that happened to me, and I realized the game hadn't saved at all.
Oh, dude.
So I had to go all the way back to the very beginning of that quest and go run through that whole process again.
Dude, the same thing happened to me going to the facility for the clone missions, too.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I was so ticked off.
That actually makes me laugh because, yeah, I was on chat with Wigit, and he's sitting here doing all his stuff, and all he says, that siren just snuck up on me and killed me. And then 5 seconds later, he's like, oh, no, it didn't save.
I do the whole thing over again. This time I was ready for all 4 sirens. I wiped them out, dang it. And then, so we get to this point where we have to get Unit 99. He's, captured by not Spacers, not Crimson Fleet either. It's the other faction. Anyway, so he goes over there. Before we get to the base, he's like, so the standard procedure for this is a full frontal assault, no quarter given. And I'm just sitting there looking at him going, the first thing that came to my mind was, hold my beer.
Oh, Ecliptic.
Yeah, Ecliptic, thank you.
There it is, yeah.
So I went over there and just sniped everything to death. And when Unit 99 came out after me, I just emptied. It took me 4 magazines of 30 rounds each with my Beowulf to take it down.
That's not bad.
Extreme difficulty is no joke.
For extreme difficulty, yeah.
I didn't kill it, though.
Has made the game more fun, though, to me.
It has made it a lot more challenging. My sniper rifle is not a one-hit kill on everything.
It actually makes me use tactics when I'm trying to clear a building.
Right.
I actually have to check my corners.
I think it was the first time I did that mission. I think I came across that little base area because it's got like the cage in the middle, right?
Right, yep.
Yeah.
With the creature inside. I think I accidentally came across that earlier, didn't realize what it was, ended up going through this mission, and then by the time I got back to it, there was no anything there except for the creature. That's the only thing I had to kill to finish that point of the quest.
Oh, it cracks me up when I get a good vantage point, like any good Overwatch does, and I'm sitting there and I take down the one guy with one shot. They all start panicking, looking everywhere. Another guy falls. They panic more. Another one falls. They just start shooting everywhere.
Right.
My favorite part about that whole thing was I ran in, realized what I needed to do, and released the creature while I was still being shot at.
That reminds me. I did find out something after talking to Kaiser that I didn't realize was an option.
What's that?
You can reprogram Unit 99.
Really?
Oh?
Yeah, he tells you about it. If you talk to him further about it, like, is there another way we can do this without killing it? He'll go into the fact that he's a biological weapon and you can reprogram him. We just have to incapacitate him and then we can reprogram him. But he goes, I prefer just killing him.
No kidding.
He prefers killing everything. That's his answer. Kaiser's answer to everything is kill it.
So if any of you guys have done that, the pacifist way of doing it, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm really curious because I wound up killing it. But I wouldn't want to try doing it on extreme, the reprogramming.
Probably not.
I mean, if you really want a good challenge, then yeah, go for it. I think the next time I do that, I'm going to probably wind up trying that method. I might try a pacifist playthrough one of these days, but right now I'm still doing my full completion on New Game Plus 10. I'm going full completion on it.
Yeah.
After that mess was done, I decided to take a break from UC, and I went to Tracker Alliance. I finally have 3 Astra. Wound up getting the 4th one on my way over there.
Nice.
But I have 3 of them. So I was going to save scum it. Illness, that's for you, buddy. And of course, I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was 8 or 9 times in a row I just got suit pieces, so I gave up on that entirely.
Oh, jeez.
But then I realized that none of the stuff that you drop inside the Tracker Alliance headquarters actually despawns. So the top floor of my game is literally riddled with all the stuff I've thrown everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't despawn. It stays.
Oh, wow.
So you can use that as a little storage space.
Cool.
And I went downstairs and I was messing with the pool table after getting frustrated, and I invented a new sport. I put a little video in our Discord about it. But I started playing. I started playing pool with my sniper rifle, and before I started recording, I actually shot in like 4 or 5 on one shot, and I was like, "Man, if there's a multiplayer on this, we could have a game."
Yeah, it's like I saw a side pocket shot. That was pretty good.
That's making some good shots. I'm gonna have to do it again. That was way too much fun. But yeah, that was my week, guys. Not anything too crazy, but fun.
Solid week.
Oh, and let's talk about our 1-year anniversary show, guys.
Let's.
So here is what you guys have suggested in Discord, and what we decided to take and say, call it our own. You know, like any good show.
Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live recording on Wednesday, August 7th. Our usual record time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be in our show channel that you guys cannot see. But what's going to happen is anyone who wants to participate in this episode, and we're going to allow anyone who wants to, go into the Gaming Together channel, the voice channel, before we record that night, and let us know that you want to participate. We'll pull you in to our recording channel. We'll have our video going, and we'll record the show live for everybody in that channel. But here's the fun part. You guys want to talk about this?
Yeah. What we are going to do is we will be pulling some of you in, and we're going to do a segment where we are going to unmute some of you and do a little trivia game about Starfield Raw, Starfield itself, and then we're going to do little asks the hosts.
You guys can
give you guys an opportunity to ask us questions.
Yep, you can ask us about our show, anything you want, within reason. I mean, there's going to be rules, but
I have no shame. You can ask whatever you want of me.
You guys can try to stump us if you want to.
Yes.
You'll probably. Well, I think between the 3 of us, it's going to be hard to do because we all have our 3 specific knowledge bases.
Right.
But if anyone wanted to stump me directly, just ask me about a planet and what name it is, and I'll lose every time.
Ask them how to spell Sidonia.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm an author. That means I'm not a very good speller or grammar.
Cuidonia.
And one thing we've talked about maybe doing is talking about like just kind of reflection about the year we've had doing this show. The
A
host will
year
talk
in
about what we
review.
think, and then if you guys want to raise your hand, and we'll probably unmute you and let you give us your thoughts on the show for the last year. So we want to really include all you guys in this episode. It's going to be a long one. I'm expecting a long show.
Yeah, probably.
Anything else you guys want to add? I mean, we're going to be talking about this throughout the week, and we might be doing more things special, but I don't know yet. We'll get to that. But this is the one we wanted to announce, so you guys
Yeah.
are prepared for it. To come in our Discord,
Yeah.
discord.gg/raw podcasts,
There it is.
and join us. Join us for our 52nd episode.
Yes. And to be clear, be on the episode.
Yep. I will be editing it, but you will be on the episode as long as you don't go crazy. I don't want to have to bleep you 15 times.
Yes. He has enough trouble with that with us.
So
I'm super excited about that.
Next Wednesday, August 7th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Heck yeah.
And I was thinking that QuakeCon was sooner than what it is. It's actually going to be August 8th. We'll be recording the day before, so we might have to do a little extra recording. Because
okay. Yeah.
QuakeCon is Bethesda's yearly convention. It's all about Bethesda gaming. And they like to do a lot of their big announcements during QuakeCon, so I am really, really expecting some news to come out about Starfield.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It depends on when they announce it. If they announce it on the first day, August 8th, then we can do a little bonus recording and add it into it. But if they go sometime in the weekend, we might have to do a little mini show.
Okay.
Or just talk about it the next week. Depends what it is.
Right, of course.
All right, let's jump in to a little bit around Discord.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, you're going to have to go to the Discord if you want to see everything that happens over there, because we only speak of a small fraction of it here. A couple of things I caught my very small. Yeah, seriously. I caught a couple of things I actually caught today as I was kind of looking around Discord. One, we have a listener who I personally absolutely adore. His name is Hicks in our Discord.
Yeah.
He's pretty quiet. He doesn't really talk a whole lot. He doesn't engage a whole lot. But every once in a while, he posts these wild Starfield videos with no context. There's a little context. Sometimes there's chapter title cards, but the one he posted, I think it was today. I think it was this morning. It was, what was that? The Mars launch site.
Yeah.
He kicked on the engines. Yeah, he kicked on the engines of the rocket. It's just the engines like exhaust, like the flame exhaust coming down on him, and then it had a little still of him like holding his gun with the rocket going off behind him, and it was pretty metal. And I think, actually, speaking of metal, I'm pretty sure there's a Metallica song in one of his videos. He does all these different videos.
Yeah, that was the first video that I really enjoyed. A lot of them, I'm sitting there scratching my head going, huh? But I like the fact that he's active and is posting that content. I think that's really cool.
Oh, it's great. It is really good stuff. And we see you, Hicks, and we appreciate you. And then I spent a lot of time looking around in-game photos as well. Mossy with his dude on that rock. Both K-Blood. Go ahead.
I was going to shout out Fluffy Muffin because his ship that he posted not long ago, a few days back, called the Clutch Nixon, was one of the more BA ships I've seen posted. And he gave the whole specs on it. That ship is awesome. So I want to give a little shout out for that.
He's a great builder. He's actually one of my mods in my Facebook group. And actually K-Blood, too, is also in my Facebook group. They're both good builders.
Yeah, I wouldn't be one of the good builders.
Did you like...
I do okay.
Did you like Fluffy's USS WTF? That's what he named
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has a bunch of ship builds he put in here. The Slippery Squirrel.
Yeah.
There's a few of our listeners that do post quite a few ship builds.
I like every one of them. Nixon. Yeah. It's just modded, so I can't build it.
So anything else that I would have found that I have found, it just wasn't work for this medium. You're going to have to go to Discord and join us in order to get the full experience.
It's an awesome community. We actually listen to our community and we respond all the time. As a friend of mine jumped in or somebody I interviewed from WonderCon jumped in, and she's like, "That was the most welcoming Discord I've ever jumped into."
Yeah, everybody's pretty cool over there.
We have an entire channel dedicated to welcoming.
Yeah, we do.
Now,
Indeed.
this was before we had the welcome channel. This is when everything linked directly into Starfield General.
All right.
She jumped in because I told her that's how to get a hold of me that way we could do our interview, and she's like, I logged in and everybody was just so nice.
Aw, nice.
We have the right people in our Discord. I actually really enjoy the people in our Discord.
Yeah, everybody's pretty cool in there, actually. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
You think they'd all suck, but no, it's a bunch of cool people. Everybody's pretty awesome in there, and you definitely got your regulars that you'll see around there all the time. And usually within a couple hours, you'll find one of us. We're not always in there, but you can almost always find us in there, all three of us, at one point or another throughout the day.
Yep, I monitor it a lot of times when I'm working. Reply here and there if I can, but I look at everything. We even have our nerd fitness channel, which has been doing really good. The Raw Gym.
The Raw Gym, yeah.
All right, let's talk about some mods. Oh, wait, did you have someone else you want to shout out to?
Let's see. He had SciTech with Amelia.
His SciTech, yes. His picture with the Amelia, the friend from work. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was just gave me a chuckle.
The one I commented about the butt.
No.
Oh, that was mine. Yeah. That was actually on the Clone Planet. I arrived right at sunrise, so the sun was just starting to come up, and I moved over, and yeah, me and Andrasia took that picture together.
Oh yeah. Okay, his friend from work. That was a really good photo job he did on that one.
That was a super cool photo. The way he posed them both like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know how long it would take to get them to line up?
It would have to. It would, because it's not like another game that I've played quite a bit that we're not going to mention because it's not the show for that game, where you can actually move everybody around in the picture, twist them, turn them, move them this way, that way. We don't have that functionality yet, Bethesda, so it makes it a little bit difficult.
I think there's other things that are more important at the moment for them to get in the game.
That's fair.
I don't know. When you're trying to take a picture and your companion is like facing in a weird way, partially still running.
Or you think you hit the pause button on Xbox just in time, and then the photo mode comes up, and you're like, what are you doing? Your face is in a pipe. What's happening? Yeah. I do have a couple mods.
Do it.
I got some of that.
Let's do it.
I'm doing it.
Come on, man. Jeez.
Do it.
You're not done
yet? Do it.
God, always
I got Illinois suggested Clutter version 2 by Spekic, which I thought was really cool because it offers a whole bunch of different stuff. Containers and items and things that you can use to decorate your outpost and your spaceship.
He's one of our most prominent outpost builders, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I just thought it was really cool, just because, like, sometimes to make something look lived in, you need stuff like that. So I wanted to bring that one up. This one I was actually excited about because in Skyrim, one of my favorite things to do in Skyrim was collect books, and I don't think I read any of them, even the Argonian Lusty Argonian Maid.
Oh, I read that one twice. That was great.
You read that one twice. I wasn't into it, but each their own. But the fun thing about collecting books in that game is you could then, I think I usually had to go through like multiple houses to the bookshelves of multiple houses and place books in order to get them all to fit. Well, bookshelf displays enhanced by Wind Addict adds proper bookshelves to the game a la Skyrim. It isn't perfect. For some reason, there's a couple of books, I didn't put them down. For whatever reason, they don't place properly, and the books are considered small objects. So technically, the bookshelf can hold other small objects that are not books, but the result can be unpredictable. They're not necessarily going to stay in place. They might fly across the room. Yeah, so theoretically, it can happen.
Yeah, that's just where I wanted. Why is it now over there?
You brought up the Lusty Argonian Maid. That made me think. it would have been hilarious if Bethesda put in an Easter egg to that and had something like the Lusty Varun made. That way I can just take it and look at Android and say, here, it's about you.
No, dude.
No,
Listen,
you
can we
just go
get you
give
an
it to
outfit
Cora,
that
get it
looks
right.
exactly like this one?
Can we do this? Look at page 12.
Right. No, flip the book the other way. There you go.
There you go.
So, another one I found, and there's a lot of the different apartments and homes and houses. There's a bunch of different mods out there. Uh, my personal favorite, Eleonora, does a great job with the neon apartment. But I found this one that just released recently, I think not more than a couple days ago, called Enhanced Dream Home by Nebulous Squid, which renovates and refurnishes the dream home that you get from the Dream Home trait that you can take. And I looked through the pictures because, like, some of them you look at them like, all right, yeah, technically there's a couch and a chair there, but the room basically empty. They really did. If you guys get a chance to go check it out, Enhanced Dream Home. The pictures look amazing. Whoever did this did a great job with the furniture and the clutter and everything, and it's absolutely great. So if you have that trait and you don't feel like decorating like me, then definitely check that one out. And then so you remember a couple weeks ago where we were talking about that one armor set for as a Mantis replacer. I was like, that kind of looks. It's got a little bit of a Guyver armor look to it. A Guyver being the I believe it's a comic book and an anime, and there was a live action movie in the 80s, I think.
Yeah,
I remember
no
watching
idea.
it. You never saw that one?
No,
Oh, man. You're missing out. That was a good one. Well, I mean, it was good for the time, which is the 80s and 90s. So,
that's fair.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's called the Guyver Spacesuit by Captain SSA. And it is exactly that. If you know what the Guyver is, that's what the spacesuit is. It's super sweet. It's got the arm blades as melee weapons. The eyes glow.
See, when you said
And you can
Guyver, the
change
first
the
thing that
color.
went to my mind was McGyver. So I was expecting a suit to have like duct tape and string.
First of all, that would be
knife.
awesome. Somebody mod that. I want a MacGyver outfit,
Yeah,
please.
that's the first thing that my mind went to.
But if you know what the Guyver is, and you've seen those messed up movies that we probably all watched too young, you can
Yeah.
you can
Oh,
get
of
that
course.
now.
I have the DVD for that.
Oh, okay.
Collector's edition.
And then there's this one. This one is one legitimately I'm thinking about taking myself. It's called War Turtles Take Items Through Unity by War Turtle. For Xbox users, it was ported in by the Nighthawk. And basically what it is you can't take everything in your inventory, but anything that you're wearing and you have equipped can go through Unity with you. Your armor, your apparel, your gun. The only catch with this one is it only works with vanilla weapons. It doesn't work with any weapons that you got, via mods. It does include the ammo, but it may randomize your modification on the other any modifications to the weapon on the other side of Unity. So you could end up with a completely different list of traits for the weapon.
Two things with this though. Okay, one, I like that idea a lot. 'Cause I'm going to carry my heart target with me, my
Right.
baby. But it kind of goes against what the Unity is because you're being technically reborn on a new planet, if you will, or a new universe. But I don't know, I'm tempted.
Well, I mean,
But see, nothing
Sure,
actually
but-
explains outside of you just waking up on the new ship.
That's
So
valid
nothing-
too. I was
Nothing
just thinking
explains
that.
what happens
Right.
to anything.
About anybody else who was on the ship with you that went through you, like you never.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what though, if I get a legendary hard target that has all the mods and stuff on it, modifications, I might do this.
Yeah, there you go, man. See, I thought you guys might like that one too. And there is a couple of notables this week. You can get Olympia Vale's armor from Halo 5. And it looks like there are a couple starships that were removed that are now coming back. I saw both the Naboo Royal Transport, Queen Amidala's ship, as well as the Naboo fighter as I was kind of going through the mods this week. So if you are one of those people,
Unless they're free, I got a feeling those are going to be pulled again.
Most likely. Trademark.
they are free.
They are free? All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the Star Trek ship parts mod.
Nobody's
Yeah, you
building
know what?
Star Trek ships.
And what the heck? We got some Trekkies here. Let's do it.
I forgot that I installed that mod. And I totally forgot about it until I was going through, I think, a structural, and I don't know. All of a sudden, all these huge pieces are coming out. I went, what the hell am I looking at? I went in my mind, I was like, oh, that's the Star Trek mod. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a bummer because it doesn't include like the saucer or anything really to make
I
a.
want a full like Star Trek modification mod that
Yeah.
includes like not only Starfleet but has the birds of prey and
Okay.
like some of the like the Klingon ships and
Yeah.
some of the other ones that are like Vulcan ships. They would
More
be so
iconic
cool.
designs.
Yeah.
Well,
I want
see,
the
the
parts.
problem is right now we have a size limit. I
True,
don't
but you can
recall.
still do a shrink down version of the
I
saucer.
don't recall the NCC 1701 Delta being 80 meters long.
That's
It
okay.
was
We can do a
900.
shrink down version of the parts to make it look like it.
Give me a Class M Enterprise. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, word.
Give us
If we're
Class
gonna
M
do it.
ships.
Let's do it right.
I want
Give
that
us
full thing,
legit
man.
Class M ships.
I want the huge ships. I want my
The
my
space
space
station?
station. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
there it is. Yep.
I gotta
Let's
have my
do it.
space
Let's go.
station.
Let's go.
That's the number one thing on my list of wants.
Mine is the Class M ships. That way I can actually fly a big ship and have a hangar for my little ship to fly to the planet.
You can walk around your quarters going Stardate 10223.
I want to be able to romance Jessamine.
Yeah, we talked about that too. In our wish list was one of the ones was romancing.
Yep.
All right, guys, this is gonna end the episode tonight, and we're gonna go through our usual stuff. Discord. Remember, if you want to join in on our 1-year anniversary episode next week, you gotta join our Discord. Discord.gg golf / Raw Podcasts. RAWPODCASTS. Come on in, say hi, and then get ready to join our show. Watch us be goofs in person because the actual recording is longer than the finished product.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's be honest. The massive amount of BS we say around the show is a lot more.
Before and after? Yeah.
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 Definitely before.
Well, Wigit doesn't like to be upstaged, so he usually cuts out more of our content. You know?
Exactly, you know. I'll have to be perfectly clear, though, and transparent here. I try to leave my stars content as much as intact as possible, unless they go off tangents.
We never do that.
That use really bad words, but those just get bleeped.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But
like 90% of our conversations.
If there's anything that really gets cut out, it's usually something that I said that was stupid, and I'll cut it out. But that's just because it's me, and I can do that.
He tries upstaging us through his editing. Right. By making himself look good by cutting out his own stuff.
You guys sound so much worse in live recording that I have to actually make you guys sound better in editing.
All of us being dumb can stay in, you know. Oh, jeez.
If you guys want to reach out to us for anything business related, starfieldraw@gmail.com. Our Facebook is Raw Podcast. Our Instagram,
Raw Podcast 1.
Thank you.
Oh, he waffled on that one a little bit.
A little bit. Muy poquito. And our Twitter is @Starfield Raw. You can follow us individually at different platforms. I am at The Wigit, THEWIGIT, on everything. And if I'm not, just search it. You'll find it.
You can find me everywhere almost everywhere as Tomcat213 or some variation of. X and Steam is Rook213.
I see Widget trim that down a little bit. You need to work on that, Rook. Don't you guys get tired of saying that every week? It's just Kilo Tango 1122 everywhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, half of my stuff was made long time ago, and I'm not changing it.
When I did my podcasting before, I unified everything as The Widget. The only thing that didn't was my private account, Instagram, which is no longer private.
No, there you go. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what it is. Have a fantastic week, everybody, and we'll talk to you on the next episode.
Stay safe in the deepest black, y'all.
I have no idea what's going on.